Surprise! If you were looking for Father Alan or Father Michael here today, this is the surprise. I get to share this piece of the Acts of the Apostles with you, which is today's first reading. Yesterday, we were in chapter 15 of Acts of the Apostles. Well, today we're going back to chapter 1. Now, the good news is, no, you're not failing the course. And the even better news is we're back to chapter 1 today because today is the feast day of Saint Matthias, not to be confused with Saint Matthew, the evangelist and original apostle. Today we see Peter standing up in the midst of an assembly of 120 disciples and telling them that this is time now for us to choose a replacement for Judas. And we all remember what happened to Judas, so we think that the bar wasn't necessarily set very high. Actually, the criteria for this had to be someone who was a follower of Jesus and who was a witness to the risen Lord. Two candidates came forth. We don't know if it was the 120 who chose them or the original 11 apostles who chose them, but at any rate, the two men were, one was Joseph Barsabbas, which means son of the Sabbath, not to be confused with Barabbas, which is another whole story, and Matthias. And it's interesting that nothing is said about these two men before or after this reference in Acts of the Apostles. So we should think about how did they decide which of these two would be the one who would be the 12th apostle? Well, the reading tells us that then they gave lots to them, and the lot fell upon Matthias. Now, the other time we hear of casting lots is when Jesus is dying on the cross, and the soldiers cast lots to see who is going to get Jesus' cloak or mantle. Sometimes we think of it as being like the rolling of the dice, but actually it's not that. Because dice is simply a matter of sheer luck to see whatever numbers come up and to find out who wins, or in some cases who loses. The casting lots had to do with pebbles. And so when it says each of them was given lots, and the one among them that was chosen, it says the lot fell to Matthias. Now, the last words of today's reading are, and he was counted with the 11 apostles. It's the only time that we hear of 11 apostles. But of course, after Judas left, there were only 11. And Jesus had originally chosen 12 to be complete. And so Matthias got to be number 12. Have a great day.